So I'm saying don't no eye for an eye because you did something. I'm gonna go and do something. Read.
or railing for railing.
Or railing for railing. Stop the back and forth finger pointing. Yeah, but you did this. Yeah, but you did that. Let's put that off now, yo. Let's move on to some bigger things. Go ahead.
But contrary-wise, blessing,
Contrary though, speak blessings to each other. Go ahead.
knowing that ye are thereunto called that ye should inherit a blessing.
Then he gave you the reason why you should. Husband and wife start speaking blessings to each other. Why? Because you are called unto a blessing. Why? Because a blessing is your inheritance. Y'all understand that? Let's do this one last verse. Matter of fact, let's go into Proverbs 31. Let's kind of close out with that. That's the one. Proverbs 31. Let's get into some of these virtuous woman scripts. That's the one. That's the meat for the ladies. Hold on, let me check something real quick. I want to go into one last verse. Ah, yeah, okay. I said verse Proverbs 31. Let's go to reverse 10.
Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
12.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
He started off his diatribe of who can find a virtuous woman. Put it out as a question form. For her price is far above rubies. I agree. Because of the actions of Abigail, Nabal was able to live 10 more days. How about that? So, of course, rubies is nothing in comparison to life. Then he said, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Um, just to give you something real easy to understand and perceive on spoil. If a man has a virtuous wife, let me use verse 11, and let me bring up some old incidents from Book of Deuteronomy, from the Torah, some of the things that we did coming out of Egypt. There was a time when we would go to war after we came out of Egypt, okay? And the commandment would be to go in and kill, just slaughter, go for it. Everybody, get it. And everybody would get it. Then there were times they only wanted us to kill the men. But in each kind of war, whether everything was killed or there were only men killed, there's what's called spoils of war. You walk around, you collect the scarlet, the silver, the gold, the best looking sheep, the goats, the horses, because they're just there. So you collect the spoils of war. During the times that you didn't have to kill everybody, a particular spoil of war was a wife. Now, there were no stipulations against the fact whether you already had a wife or not. But if you walk up in a tent and your intent is to kill everybody in there and you do, then you turn to this damsel who's looking pretty nice, like, I don't want to kill you. So there were laws governing how do you wife her. But if we gonna dig in here, talking about who can find a virtuous woman, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he have no need of spoil. See how that directly reflects to a wife? Just wanted to pause so you can meditate on that. He'll have no need of spoil. Let's jump to, because I said earlier that, you know, well, I don't think I did. I think I mentioned it. The Catholic Christian deception on things is that you can name it and claim it. So if you're a woman, you're like, I'm a virtuous woman. Hmm. Or if you're a husband and you're looking at your wife, oh, that's a virtuous woman right there. You're really probably just trying to get brownie points. Because we can put the measurements of a virtuous woman according to the scripture. You like that, T. Will? I can dig it. Um, so we're gonna get let's go further down in this chapter. Um, just keep reading, then. Let's keep reading. Start at verse 13.
Proverbs 31 and 13. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
Uh huh.
She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens.
Now I want to speak on that real quick because in my particular villa, there's probably about 15 of us in there. We're a little more spread out now. But the other day, and this is the first verse that popped in my mind. I walked in the kitchen. It's like 5 in the morning. There's some sisters in there rolling up grape leaves. I'm like, man, what is y'all doing? But they made some stuffed grape leaves the next day, and it was out cold. All organic, like real organic, no pesticides, like the farm a couple miles up the road. Y'all learn about it later. Um, they was up. It says she riseth while it is yet night and giveth meat to her household. And the first thing I thought of, like, wow, I didn't say it to him, but I was like, yo, in my mind, I'm like, yo, that's a good sign right there. They up at 5, 6 in the morning preparing dinner. That's a good sign. That's the first thing that went off in my mind. These are preparations for someone calling you a virtuous woman. Keep reading.
She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
She girdeth her loins with strength, and stretcheth her arms.
Uh-huh.
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good, and her candle goeth not out by night.
Uh-huh.
She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff.
Just showing her, a few things that she do in her works. Go ahead.
She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy.
Mm-hmm. She not just looking at bums saying, "Ooh, get away from me." Go ahead.
She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet.
The winter coming in, no problem. That's already handled. Her husband safely trusts in that. Go ahead.
She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple.
Her clothing is silk of purple. She maketh herself coverings. She cover herself. She keep herself hid from the eyes of other men. Ladies, if you're married, right, and your man knows that the way you dress is to keep yourself unlusted after in the sight of other men, you're letting him know this is something he can put in his mind that she is keeping herself from me. Those kind of things cause a chemical imbalance in men. We put it out there, okay? And it makes them respond to you in different kind of ways. You understand? Try it out and don't let me know, but just try it out. Read 23, right?
Yeah. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
Read that verse again.
Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
So it's known that this woman it's known that this woman is virtuous. Say her husband is even known. Yo, that's Abigail's husband. Like I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure people knew Nabal and they knew that Abigail was his wife. Because when you're a woman of good understanding, you're virtuous, you handle some things according to the scripture, and people not hearing arguings and yellings coming out your household, your husband is happy, you got a smile on your face. These things can be known about your virtuosity because y'all operating in oneness. Y'all understand the order. You understand the order of your husband and his authority. Change my name to Abigail. All right, go down to 25.
Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come.
Strength and honor are her clothing. Spiritual statement, but at the same token, When men see women dressed in a particular way, they're handled in a particular way. You got your knuckleheads who gonna disrespect you regardless. But then you got those who can see you, see how you dress, see how you in modest apparel, and their approach, whether there might not even be an approach because you don't even look easy. You look like a strong sister who won't open herself. You understand? Verse 26.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
She does what?
She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
The virtuous woman openeth her mouth with wisdom. I mean, when she opened her mouth, wisdom is coming out. Or like, like me, I would kind of conclude right here that she ain't talking. Finish that verse.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness.
So if her mouth is open, it's the law of kindness coming out that mouth with wisdom. Is it safe to conclude that if we're talking about a virtuous woman, if this isn't coming out her mouth, then she's not virtuous? Is that safe to conclude?
I would say that.
We're going to leave that one up for Facebook discussion. We're going to start another forum and keep this thing rolling. We're going to force people to get back to their heritage. Y'all with me on that? I hope so. So she got the law, in her tongue is the law of kindness. Kindness is not going against what your husband is saying to you. You understand? I pray that he's not demanding you to sin against the Most High. But if he's asking for something, you're obligated. You understand? He is your ruler. So in all times, when you open your mouth, you're working on being a holy woman, working on being a virtuous woman. Let your mouth open up in wisdom. Let us say the foolish things. Leave that to the men. But I spend more time on women because it's on y'all to give this to our daughters. This just popped in my mind. Go to Amos 5. I spend a lot of time with y'all because there's something that's real near and dear to my heart. Y'all go to Amos 5 real quick, and I'm going to finish reading Proverbs 31. It says, she looketh well to the ways of her household. We talked about that, a woman ordering her house. And eateth not the bread of idleness. There's not a lot of time that go by that she's being unproductive, whether it's cleaning, cooking, spending time with her husband, her children, spending time in the laws, understanding. It says the bread of idleness, she don't touch it. That's a virtuous woman for you. She's being productive. It say her children arise up and call her blessed. So if you have children, I'm going to ask you this question. Are they calling you blessed? Interesting. Her husband also, and he praiseth her. Question. If you got a husband, is he giving you praises? Think about it.